I'm Paul with St. Paul and the Broken Bones, and you're watching Kink FM in the Skype Live studio.
There we go. Now we're talking. St. Paul and the Broken Bones in the Skype Live studio here at Kink. Thank you so much for coming in. I've been a big fan of this album for about a year now. And I just was turned on to about 2 weeks after you were here the first time, or last year. And so I've been waiting for this, and I'm really glad you all are here. So
We're glad to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
We met last summer briefly in Boulder, Colorado. We talked for a little while that afternoon, and there's a hunch. This is just a hunch. You probably grew up in church singing.
That's a good hunch.
Good hunch. Safe bet.
Yeah, no, that's a safe bet. I did. I grew up when I was about 4 years old. That was my first solo in church.
There you go.
I've been singing ever since. So this band thing is still fairly new from the outside world, but it's a lot of fun.
So now, where did you all get together? Because there's groups, and then there's artists that have musicians that travel with them. But this feels like a real unit to me.
Certainly, it's a band. It's
Yeah.
I couldn't do what I do without every other piece, and they couldn't do what they do without the other piece. So it's kind of, but the way that we all started actually me and Jesse, who's the bass player here, have been really good friends for about 7 years or so, and we were kind of doing our last ditch effort. We were kind of like, well, we got to get big boy jobs and get done, doing this music thing because it ain't working out. And then Jesse is the social butterfly he is, and he met Bro and Andrew. And Ben knew them already.
Okay.
And so we were in the studio, and he brought them in, and we were like, oh, no. He brought them in, and we were like, we got a band. So, Ben knew Alan, and then Bro knew Al. So it all kind of, it turned into a thing, and here we are.
Was there that moment where you just kind of went, oh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. Like, it was, the first song we wrote was a song called Broken Bones and Pocket Change. It was the first song we wrote, and when me and Jesse were just kind of sitting around in his living room, and we were like, "Uh-oh, this might be something." And so, so it's been kind of an adventure. That was 2.5 years ago that we got this all cranked up, and so it's been a very interesting ride.
Nice. There's a documentary about Muscle Shoals, which I watch probably every couple weeks because it's that good to me. Can you explain to somebody that's never been to Muscle Shoals what it is about that? Oh, we got it here. We're going right to the top now.
Well, it's Muscle Shoals is an interesting place because it's got a lot of history, but it hasn't really caught up to its own history. I mean, you could still go there. It's not a big touristy spot yet.
Right.
It's part of what makes it so cool. And what brought artists there to begin with. Like, if they could go there and walk down the street and nobody knew who they were.
Right.
But it's still kind of like that. Like, people are, the people that live there are kind of spoiled because you go to a bar and you see a band that's comprised of the Muscle Shoals Swampers playing covers, most of which they played on the original.
Right, exactly. So they're not really covers.
Me and Al, the keyboard player, are both from there.
Okay, great.
It's a great place to be from, for sure, if you're a musician. Maybe not so much if you're trying to be a nutritionist or...
Very good point. If you haven't seen that documentary, I highly recommend it because it just kind of it kind of focuses on this particular kind of sound, and I think that you guys borrowed from it, but not in any derivative kind of way. What you're doing is authentic, and I just love it. So let's hear some more, shall we? St. Paul and the Broken Bones.